Some of us have been lucky and have gotten to the point where we're making a chapter's worth of beats, like an outline of a chapter, and they're getting OpenAI and Claude to write at least about a full chapter's worth of stuff without it going off the rails. But I have noticed lately that a lot of things have been going off the rails. So I wanted to look into training data sets and what is involved in training a data set. So I was thinking, oh, we've all got like millions of words worth of books. Why can't we just train our own data set? It's a lot of work, people. That's what I've figured out. It's not just, I think that the majority of people out there think that it's like a big vat and you just throw books into it and you stir it around and out comes an LLM. That is not how it works, as I have figured out. It involves lots of little chunks of text, like 1,000 words, 2,000 words. And each one of those chunks of text is then given metadata to say things like, this is an example of how to build setting in a story, or this is how a blurb works on Amazon. So every one of those chunks of data has to have metadata with it that a person has to evaluate, right? Once I understood that, I was like, oh, okay, now I see why it does go off the rails so often, because it does not have an understanding of these larger things about writing stories, right? I want the AI to write what I want it to write, not what it wants to write, because it will go off the rails. So I've come up with this method, which is to give the AI plenty of context, right? A couple of thousand words of context, which is a megaprompt. It's a writing style, characters, setting. What else do I got in there? The story so far, about 4,000 words of the story so far, or at least an example of chapters for it to look at and see style and see the voice of the author. And then the next beat to write in the story. And then once we get back the beat written by the AI, we edit it and we tell the AI what we did for an edit. And then at some point after 2 or 3 of those rounds of getting the beat back from the AI and then turning around and editing it and giving it back and then asking for the next beat, we will ask the AI to look at what it gave us, what we gave it back, and find the differences. What are the differences here in what I edited? So that in the next time you write, you can be better and use those same criteria for writing the next beat. Okay? Because that makes sense to everybody. Okay, so I am writing this book in Notion. I've shown you guys this database before. I have 1, 2, 3 chapters written, and I'm working on chapter 4 right now. Okay, we've got the writing style. We'll look at it in a second. The characters, the story, pitch, and hook. The story so far, which we'll make sure has what we need in it, the setting, and then my outline. This outline is basically just for me. I never bring it into the AI anymore. I have basically, let's see, each chapter in the outline, a quick paragraph about what that chapter is about, and then beats to write that chapter. This chapter 3 was the last chapter I wrote. We also have my writing style. I've shown this to you guys before. It includes a little bit about emotion style to remember for this book. It includes things like cliffhanger chapter endings to hook readers. We also have my characters, which are just a brief paragraph summary of each one of them. It's not a lot, which is nice. The story, pitch, and hook. The story so far, which I will open up and get to in a moment. And then the setting, I brainstormed this with the AI last week. All of these things can help inform my story, either in this book or in future books, because I will hold on to this for future books as well. Okay, story so far, I'm only ever going to include the last 2 chapters, which should be around 4,000 words. We don't want to overwhelm the AI. I find that giving it megaprompts that are like 10,000 words long is just totally overwhelming it. So these are the parts of my megaprompt. That's it. That's all you need. Now we're going to go and construct this megaprompt in Rexy. You can construct this on your own without Rexy, but I've given you a template, so you might as well use it. We are going to go to the library. It is going to be underneath 500 writing 501, writing scene by scene or beat. And then underneath here is Claude 2.0 depths megaprompt to write individual beats. We are going to put all of the stuff into my prompt. Okay. Read the following and commit them all in their entirety to memory. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot that we need to load up the Notion slots. Read the following and commit them all in their entirety to memory. Writing style will be number 1 and 1 characters and 2. I'm going to add in here settings. Setting is in N5. Okay. Story, pitch, and hook is in N3. N3. Previous writing, story so far, is in N4. Okay, I basically loaded up the pieces of my mega prompt up above, and now we're working on the actual prompt part of it using what you know of the previous writing, writing style, setting, characters, and story, pitch, hook. Write the following next beat of the story. The next beat of the story is in my outline. We're picking up here with this beat of the story, and I'm going to copy it over into Rexy. Previous beat of the story. I'm just going to put it straight in here. That's the only thing I want Claude to write. Okay. And then the rest of the prompt is write only what is in this beat. Do not continue past this beat. Be sure to follow the writing style specified above and write in first person past tense from the point of view of Coyote. Above all, what you write must connect seamlessly to previous writing. And this is why we put in the previous 2 chapters, because we wanted to look at those previous 2 chapters and connect seamlessly to them. Okay. And we're going to construct this prompt. That's it. So right now it has pulled everything together out of all the Notion slots, anything that was in my prompt, and it's putting it straight into this prompt right here on the page. This prompt, which we're going to bring over into Claude, is 6,700 words. I definitely would not want to go over 8,000 or 9,000 words. I feel like 6,000, even less, would be better so that I have more context window to be working in, even though the context window is pretty big in Claude. I would love to be able to use one context window for my entire writing project, right? All right. Let's go. I'm not going to give it chapter summaries for prior chapters. I'm not going to give it anything else because then I find that Claude starts looking for stuff to write when I've told it to write the thing in front of it. I find that if you keep it to the things that you want it to do and not give it too much more, it will stick to the program. Okay. Now, what I've done is I copied that whole prompt and I put it right here into Claude. All I did was paste it. And I'm not going to do anything else except press the little enter. Okay, it's done writing this beat. We are going to take a look at it and see how many words it wrote. It wrote 338 words. That seems to be what Claude likes to write. If I tell it to write 400, it'll probably write about between 400 and 500 words. But I find that 300 to 500 words is a sweet spot for Claude, where it follows the instructions and it doesn't go off the rails and it does what it's supposed to. So my second step, now that it's given me a first draft, is to bring it over into Notion. Or for you, maybe you're bringing it over into Scrivener. Maybe you're bringing it into Ulysses. Maybe you're bringing it into Word. Doesn't matter. You bring it over into your writing place of choice and you make edits. Okay. I have edited these words. I'm happy with these words. So what? I'm going to feed it back into Claude. Okay, let's go back over here to Claude. Okay, that was great. Here's how I edited the text you gave me. Copy and paste it in. I would like for you to look at my edits, the things I added to the text you gave me, and learn from what I added. Can you describe the edits that I made to the text so that we can both better understand my edits and the way I write? Let's see if that works. Okay, let's see what it says. This is all about priming the pump, right? I'm getting the AI to quantify the things that we're doing in order to use that terminology and package it up and get it to do the same thing over again, right? Okay. Based on reviewing the edits you made to the text, here are some key things I noticed. Great. Says exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to improve its writing skills so that as we go further on in this conversation, because I'm sure I can fit like most of this actual book in this conversation because of Claude's 100K token limits, I want it to improve to the point where I'm having to do very few edits to it. That would be ideal, right? So hopefully this works in our favor over time. With that knowledge, let's move forward and write the next beat of the story. Be sure to write in my style that you now know better, that you've seen my editing. Okay, let's go over to my outline. The next beat of the story is colon. All right, I don't think I need to tell you anything else. Okay, go, Rabbit, go. Write those words. Perfect. Okay. Let's see if it wrote better in my style. Let's bring it over. See what it did. Do I think it got any better? I don't know. It may take a few more prompts to get it to really catch on, right? It did do better up here. Like it put in this little aside, which is something I do in all of my writing. Basically, I let my characters talk to themselves or break the fourth wall in a way. That's like I do.
Thank you for joining us on something wickedly cool in AI. This is what we do in our lab sessions. So the Future Fiction Academy is 8 labs a week. You can come live, you can watch the replays after, you get the transcript, you also get the lab report. So the 5 of us are the main instructors for Future Fiction Academy, and we work together to specialize in different parts of AI tools to come up with really innovative prompting and how to use these tools in our everyday publishing careers. So if you would like to join the Future Fiction Academy, we would love to have you, because it's a community that is AI positive, and we're all working together to stay on top of this new technology before we all get left behind. So by sticking together, we, for example, I kind of specialize in OpenAI and prompt engineering. Who here specializes in series writing, novellas and novels? Yep. And then who specializes in Midjourney and all of the artistic stuff? And yep. So basically between the instructors, we all have overlapping skills. We invite you to come join us and have fun, because we love to play with this stuff. And we love to share it. So hope to see you in lab soon. Bye. Take 2. Okay. So I can't even do it.
Stop laughing now. Stay serious. Stay serious.